Welcome one and all, this is the Peace Dealer, and in this video I'm going to talk about Lilith in the 5th house. So when Lilith enters the 5th house of creativity, your creative work becomes your outlet of sexual expression. This is similar to Mars in the 5th, but it's a lot more erotic. People with Lilith in the 5th house are able to produce taboo works of art that allow them to connect with certain demographics of people who aren't afraid to, express their creativity in more sexual ways. So a great example of this is an artist who only likes to draw naked bodies. But it's not enough that they draw naked bodies. They draw naked bodies in an extremely lustful way that is very creative. And it's through this creativity that they can really connect with people sexually on a deep level. Now, the Lilith element of this is where they may find that certain expressions of their heart get rejected because it's too sultry. I honestly don't like to, something that I've been doing in this Lilith series that I don't like is overemphasizing the element of sexual lust. You see, Lilith isn't necessarily really all about lust, but when you take this dark energy and human beings harness it, it's going to manifest itself in lust. Someone of a high vibration can take this energy and refine the vibrations so it's very powerful in the dark energy that it manifests, to where it's still sexual, but it's not at the lower level of lust. So keep that in mind. Even though you're going to see me interpret these positions as how they express lust in different energies, that's not the main energy of it. But because of this being in the charts of us humans, it's going to play out in lust. You know what I'm saying? So especially in the 5th house, people with Lilith in the 5th house, they can honestly experience the most pleasurable and exciting fun when it comes to sex. These people could actually, if they harness the energy right, they could have sex, and I'm going to emphasize sex. These people have sex in creative ways. So if you have a Lilith in the 5th house and you find that you're not having a lot of sex, it's because you're blocking your heart. And you'll find that anytime you express your heart, you get in trouble because you're not the type of person to express your heart half-heartedly, like say other people. You express your heart not necessarily even to the fullest. It's just there's a certain spice and eroticism when you actually express your heart and express your creativity that is not necessarily for those who want something more diluted. It's very concentrated and erotic. You have no problem, like a Lilith in the 1st house, getting naked and creatively dancing. Although the Lilith in the 1st house is going to get naked because they know that it's going to make others feel uncomfortable because their naked body is making a statement. A Lilith in the 5th house is going to get naked because they want to just dance the night away with nothing getting in the way of their freedom. The 5th house has a lot to do with freedom. So you're definitely going to find that dynamic is definitely expressive with this expressive sign. Now, Lilith in the 5th house also attracts mischievous children into these people's lives. In fact, if you have a child yourself, you're going to find that raising those kids are tough because people with Lilith in the 5th house sometimes have nasty ass kids. I'm not even gonna lie. It's not that if you have every kid, they'll all be nasty, but you're gonna have to deal with that in a childhood with your kids being promiscuous at a young age and just having to deal with not necessarily even disrespect, but just having to deal with certain sexual issues with your kids at a young age, which is some parents' biggest nightmare. So something to keep in mind. But all in all, Lilith in the 5th house indicates someone who's able to take their creative ideas and express them without necessarily limiting themselves with restraint or rules or modesty. They want to actually go beyond that and not be afraid to really be raw in their expression. The rawest form of this would be Mars conjunct Lilith in the 5th house, especially if it was in Leo. These people just ooze raw sexuality, and when you're in their presence, you feel like you have to just express this sexual energy right at the moment. I would say the downside of this, however, though, is you can spend too much obsessive energy and having fun that you don't take enough seriously. But the element of the 5th house is so karmically great that sometimes it ends up working out, and these people make great entertainers because they're able to just add that cool spice when it comes to creative expression. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and until next video,